Alright, let's see if this works any better. My name is Bill Griesemer, and I am reviewing or giving a book review of Groundswell. Groundswell, there's no Groundswell. Excellent. Written by Charlene Lee, Josh Burnoff, and basically it says it is winning in a world transformed by social technology. Part of my social media class. And this idea of groundswell is defined, they use it in the book. It says it's a social trend in which people use technologies to get the things they need from each other rather than traditional institutions like corporations. Okay. What I'm seeing here is that we're empowering people to form communities, peer groups, basically in order to support each other. So it's a bottom up push as opposed to your typical top down push. It's very grassroots application here. Now, the idea is it's not really about the technology. The concentration is more on the relationship and not the technology. It's relationships that the technology provides. Okay, and what we're going to do at that point is look at um, these relationships on the web that technology is providing in terms of what we call social technographics. Okay, these are profiles basically of how people are using the web in these communities, if you will. And you can think of it as a ladder, so to speak, in the sense that based on what they're doing is how we profile the individual, and each step of this ladder represents really a group of customers that are more involved in the groundswell than the previous step. All right, and basically you can join the group on a step. A customer really only needs to participate in at least one activity at least once a month. One of the other activities when we talk about conversationalists is really on a weekly basis. So let me outline what I'm talking about as far as these profiles. The profiles, and if we look at the least or the lowest rung, would be considered the inactives. These are people that are non-participants. Now, when this book was written, I think it looks like back around 2010, we only had about 19% of the Americans that were non-participants, inactive. Europeans, 32%, and what's amazing are these South Koreans, only 7% are inactive. Now, I think the book states that the reason is that the web is so controlled, that the content is so limited, they're really forced to produce their own. Um, but so the next step up is what we call spectators, and these are people that are basically just consumers of what is out there. Okay, consumers of what is being presented, or at least put on the web. The next we have what we call joiners. Okay, these are people that are actually involved with these social networking groups where they will join this community. They update their profiles, their likes, things like that, at least once a month. So they're actually getting involved at a fairly minimum level, but they are involved. We have then what we call collectors. These are people that are basically indexing the web. They're saving URLs, they're tagging them, and really they're just going out and really servicing and again classifying what is out there on the web. Then you have what we call critics, and these critics basically react to what content is put online. They're not really creating content; they're critiquing the content. We have then what is called a conversationalist. Now these are the folks that really they're participating in a lot of back and forth dialogue, not necessarily again um, creating new content, but they are out there dialoguing on the web. And then we have obviously the most active group would be the creators, and that's at the top of the ladder. And these are really the only customers who at least once a month are basically they're publishing content, they're creating content, web pages, updating, uploading videos, audios, things like that. So those creators are really the content providers. Creators represent about, in the U.S., 23% of adult online. Europe has only 14%, and again, South Korea, which is pretty amazing, has 68%. Okay, so these groups, these creators, conversationalists, these critics, these collectors, these joiners, these spectators, and these inactives, these are profiles or groups of people based on how they use the web. And the importance of this is if you're going to reach out, you need to understand who your customer is and how you are going to reach them. The next step is really to discuss then the different ways that we can go out and reach these individuals. Okay, but first, the first thing we need to do is just because everybody's out there doesn't mean we need to just jump out there. It's important that we really understand what is our objective. What do we want to accomplish? That needs to be defined. And a way to do that, a great way to do that in a planning type process is there's an acronym called POST, which basically stands for people, objectives, strategies, and technologies. It's basically a systematic framework for assembling your plan. Okay, so when we talk about people, we're really looking at what are your customers ready for? Okay, where are they? What are they ready for? If they're not out there, you can't reach them. Okay, objectives. What are your goals? Are you more interested in talking with the Groundswell or marketing? Okay. What is your strategy? How do you want relationships? Again, it's relationships to change with your customer. What do you hope to accomplish with that? And then basically technology would be, what applications should you build? All right. So we need to look at that plan, that strategy, that objective. But also, it's important to look at what makes an appropriate platform, or I guess let's say what is, when you're evaluating new technology, what are you looking for? Okay, and the things you need to look for here are basically, does it enable people to connect with each other in new ways? Key, new ways, connecting in new ways. Is it effortless sign up? Basically, is it easy? Okay, because it's not easy, people aren't going to do it. Does it shift the power from institutions to people? Because the whole idea about this groundswell is it's a peer-to-peer grassroots push up, not push down. So that's very, very important. And I'm frozen. Does the community generate enough content to sustain itself? Okay, you're looking to target a group, a community of people, your customers. Is it large enough in order for them to create the content? Because that is the key again, is it is content created by peers, not necessarily being pushed down by the corporation, but it's content that is gleaning from this group. That's the key, because that's where a lot of these insights and information that you're going to be able to pull from your customers comes from. So it's not you just pushing or shouting, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but it's actually allowing the groups to create enough content to be viable, as well as the platform or the technology that you're using. Is it an open platform that invites partnerships, meaning that we have social network sites like Facebook. Facebook integrates with Twitter, which integrates with Pinterest, which integrates with Instagram. I mean, so there's a collaboration in platforms. We can't isolate ourselves because you've got different people doing a variety of things, and we want to make sure that we are interfacing with all of those folks. So those are the things to look at as far as, in fact, when this was written, Twitter was just being launched. That menu of application, or that list of what to look for, basically defines what Twitter is, and Twitter has now become one of the most popular